Growing up, my family attended church frequently. It felt routine, and I knew something was missing. I was not excited about it.
I wasn't close to the Lord at that point. I thought I was, but there was layers in between me and Jesus.
I had no peace, I had no confidence, no reassurance. I worried about everything. Then a friend of mine kept asking me, "You gotta come to my church, will you come to my church?" She hounded me for 6 months. Saturday night, I got an invitation to Amplify Church. And as soon as I stepped one foot in, I didn't hold much hope, but once we sat down and I started hearing God speak, I swear the message was meant for me. And that's the truth. Something happened to me at that service. I was so excited to come back. I couldn't wait for next Saturday. I did get to witness awesome baptisms and wonderful testimonies. And I would just sit there and think, I want that relationship with Jesus. I want that reassurance. I want that peace. I want that confidence. But you know what? I never felt like I was worthy. So I let it pass me by. By that time, I was greeting down at the city campus, and another opportunity came up for water baptisms. I said, you know what? I want this. I'm going to do this. I didn't want anything stopping me or hindering me in my walk. I started listening to the Word of God more than the voice in my head telling me I'm not worthy. Before Amplify, I didn't have that. I am more courageous because I know I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
See, I grew up in the neighborhood Garfield. It's a project area. Growing up, I've seen and been around a lot of negative energy, a lot of negative people. I grew up around gangs, drugs, that type of surrounding. So that did a big impact on my life. I want to live that image, that tough boy image, I never really grew up, I never felt love. So I never knew what that was. So I always felt like my love was from my friends, from the gangs, from the streets, I wanted to live that lifestyle because that seemed like love to me, the things they was getting. I got in a lot of trouble growing up, been in and out of jail, always think somebody's out to get me, so really quick to fight. I did kind of a lot of bad things in my life that I ain't really proud of, and it kind of messed me up as a person. So I went to jail for a couple of years. And then I got out and I kind of went back to the same things I was doing. I would try to fill this hole I had with anything. But I caught myself at a real bad time, at a bad moment. I was gonna go to the bar, drink my problems away. And then Dom came along. Seen him, ain't talked to him in a while, I haven't seen him in years. I was talking to him, catching up. And I seen this change in him, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, bro, what's up? What you about to do? He said, I'm gonna go to Starbucks and read the Bible. I started laughing at him. I'm like, why you go to the Starbucks to read the Bible? He's like, yeah, bro, I'm a different person. And he's like, no, just come have a drink with me. I was like, all right, I'll come to Starbucks with you. I came to Starbucks with him and instantly started talking about the Lord. And he ended up telling me, he's like, yeah, bro, there's nothing I can really say or do for you to believe, but you need to just come to this place and it will change your life. He's like, Jesus is there waiting for you. He's like, give me your number. I'm gonna call you crazy. We're gonna go down Amplify. So after that, I left him. My week went completely horrible. You know what I'm saying? I completely forgot even meeting up with Dom. He ended up calling me. You ready? I'm like, for what? He's like, church. As soon as I come in, they open hands, hugging me. Came, sat down, listened to the word, worship to the music, and I cried. I did not expect me coming down there to feel like it was amazing. It was so crazy. It was like, this is what I've been missing the whole time. This is a place I want to be exactly today. The music, bro, to be honest with you, got to me. That's what hit my heart and the word that Jay gave. Like I said before, I had this hole in my heart. So I used to try to fill that hole with the wrong things. Every Sunday coming to Amplify, and it gave me an outer look. I just gave it a try. I must have stood in Amplify for 5 seconds and felt the love and grace of the Lord. He did nothing but bless me.
Whenever I was a kid, I went to church, but as I grew up, I found other reasons not to go. And I worked hard, so hard with my job, I didn't think it was a priority. I finally got called into the chief's office, told that he observed how well I do my job and believed that I deserved the promotion, and I was promoted to a corporal, a shift supervisor. I was finally getting something back to me that I thought I deserved and was overlooked for years. I was driven more and more. I wanted to prove that not only I deserved it, but I was going to do the best job I can do. Out on the road, doing some work, 12:30 in the afternoon, I had a massive heart attack. Ended up calling an ambulance and don't really know a lot of what happened after that, but all I remember is being in an emergency room, them taking my uniform off of me and hearing them tell my wife, "We got to get him in there or he's going to die." My heart function level was at 22%. They had to be at least 37% for me to get a defibrillator put in my chest. Once I had to have that done, I knew that I couldn't go back to work doing what I wanted to do anymore. You have to get this done. You have a scar on your heart. You're never going to go back to do what you were doing before. This is what's wrong with you. You have a heart issue, and there's going to be restrictions on you for the rest of your life. I just broke down and cried and said, I can't deal with this no more. The hurt that I see in my wife's eyes and my kids' eyes when this all happened, I felt like I would have been better off dead. I thought I was a failure to my family. I thought I was a failure to myself. Sunday morning, I sat down on the couch at 9 o'clock and I turned the TV on. Lee comes on and he starts his service. And that Sunday service was about margins. You don't leave margins in your life. You're always going full force. You walk around with a Superman's uniform or cape on. Everything that I've sacrificed all those years, it really hit me. I mean, I sat there and I cried after I watched it. So my wife came home and I played the service for her, and her and I sat there and we just kind of cried. This is something that's been missing in our lives all these years. My wife and I went to church the following week. The very following week, we were touched by church. My life has different type of meaning now. Everything that's happening in my life now is because of the grace of God. God gave me a second chance to have life with my family. God gave me a second chance of living my life the way it was supposed to be lived. If it wasn't for church being on TV that morning, I really don't know where my life would have been.
But you know, you guys for so many years have invested in what God's doing here at Amplify. You know, you've invested financially through giving, you've invested through serving and volunteering, and taking time out of your very busy schedule to make sure that church every weekend is a place where people can come and experience Jesus. And it's because of your investment and countless people like you guys who invest week in, week out into what God's doing at Amplify that we're able to hear stories like these stories. The truth is that God does incredible things in our lives, but He uses us to facilitate His work on the earth. We also wanted to bring out a few people so that they could say thank you and say hi to you as well. And on behalf of these guys and many, many other people who have stories similar to theirs, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. We have a number of people who are here who all have stories that could sound like these guys' stories. And we wanted to bring them out and collectively to say thank you.
On behalf of myself and all of us that are here, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done, all the commitment that you've had to Amplify Church to make it what it is today, for your dedication. You and those like you have not put forth what you've done. I don't know where I would be, and we might not be here right now because of you. We'd like to say thank you.
Thank you so much for everything you've done. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Words can't describe. Quite slow about.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. It's a big relief when you know where you're going, man.
In Luke it says, to whom much is given, much is expected. And God has given so much to us. So many blessings. His own life for us. So how could you not do anything but be obedient and faithful in return? And we believe very much that you be available, and then when you're asked, you be obedient.
You stop whatever you're doing and for the church, for the people. And we see so many times things we do, how it affects people. You're able to give so much beyond yourself for generations and generations. I mean, we're 3 campuses now. We're not afraid to just step outside and impact the world. We're doing it in Africa, we're doing it in Haiti, we're doing it in Indiana, Pittsburgh. Get on board.